can't believe I'm quoting Tupac on a firefighter podcast, but we're going to do this.
Yes.
And this is his quote. I'm not saying I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee I will spark the brain that will change the world. The reason I bring those two up is because I get this question a lot from new officers where they're recently promoted. They want to make a change, but they have superior officers and, you know, in the whole chain of command or a first level officer.
Yeah.
And they don't know if they could positively impact their organization. I believe they can. I know you believe they can too, but can you talk about that, about with somebody with maybe limited influence or responsibilities, how they can possibly impact a culture?
Yeah, I'd love to. It's probably, other than the hair care products one you asked, it's probably my second most requested question, especially when I'm doing an in-person keynote. I get this all the time from sometimes up and coming, new, maybe even middle managers, which I think you're talking about right here. If they're in the middle and they've got some superiors, they got people in front of them, that is the question. Do I really make a difference in the culture? How can I? I don't even have any direct reports. And of course, I do talk about it in the book, and I do in my new book. You absolutely can. And I think, you know, I'll give you one example. When I first became a manager, Hard Rock had created a position for me because they wanted me to go do openings. But now that I'd gotten to a leadership level that was management, it was bigger than just being a host. When I came back to my home location, I was running shifts as a manager, but I was imposed upon the general manager and his team that he had at the time. He got to self-select everybody except for me. So here's a guy from the corporate support center. This guy didn't choose me, and now I'm running shifts. So I would get the worst shifts. I was probably running some departments that weren't a lot of fun, that nobody else really wanted. But what I learned from that is, you know, the old adage, in lieu of leadership, lead. I just said, you know, I don't even care who my boss is. I mean, I do. I want to be developed. I want to grow. I want to be loved on like everybody else. But the reality was, if I'm not going to get that from somebody, I will absolutely take control of my own destiny. And so I knew that anybody working on these shifts, they were going to have a fun time. We were going to be doing contests. I was going to be having some yuck laughs along the way. And oh, by the way, I was still going to hold them accountable, but maybe not muscling the result and managing through threats and punishment and fear like an old school 25 year ago mentality was. So I had such an unbelievable time, regardless of who my boss was. And I created my own culture. And then, of course, what happened is exactly what you would think. That person goes away, I get promoted, I move up, and ultimately now I'm running the thing. So I think people, if they stick in their lane and say, I'm going to stick to my values, I'm going to be positive, I'm going to balance between humility and, in fact, bringing something spectacular, bringing the thunder, like I said before. And oh, by the way, I might actually do some upward delegation. I might be able to have a conversation with my boss and say, listen, not for anything, but this is how you made me feel, or this is how you made the team feel, or whatever it is. And you might actually influence and impact that person. So I am absolutely one of these people that, regardless of who's there, I'm going to be a lifelong learner. I'm going to listen to podcasts and read books and grow my skill set, put as many arrows in my quiver as possible. So I am promotable. I am ready, and I'm influencing everybody around me. Even if I don't have direct reports, I can do that from a peer standpoint as well. So somebody's got to make that decision. Like, you've got to be able to get in the game and want to do that, but you can be a culture catalyst. You can make a difference regardless of the level, but you got to invite yourself to the party and get that mindset. I can make a difference, and you will. I guarantee you will.